Mic test 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all. Before the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the ceremony will begin soon. You may find our ushers are ready to guide you to your seating. I have a few housekeeping notes to make before we begin today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, please kindly turn off or set your handphones to silent mode throughout the event. Secondly, you are required to stand upon the arrival of our distinguished guests. Thank you for your kind cooperation and attention. Announcing the arrival of honor, accompanied by the Department of Polytechnic and Community College. Sekarang. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all. Before the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the ceremony will begin soon. You may find our ushers are ready to guide you to your seating. I have a few housekeeping notes to make before we begin today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, please kindly turn off or set your handphone to silent mode throughout the event. Secondly, you are required to stand upon the arrival of our distinguished guests. Thank you for your kind cooperation and attention. Announcing the arrival of our guest of honor, accompanied by the Department of Polytechnic and Community College Education officers and top management. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. All guests are welcome to be seated. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, salam Polisisi Pemacu TVET Negara, salam Maju Johor, salam Malaysia Madani. Our honorable guest, Dr. Zamzam Muhammad Walid, Director of Curriculum Division, Department of Polytechnic and Community College Education, Tuan Haji Ulaimi bin Yahya, Director Politeknik Ibrahim Sultan Pasir Gudang Johor, Dr. Haja Nurhaniza binti Muhammad, Deputy Chairperson Malaysian Technical Doctorate Association MTDA. Our esteemed keynote speakers, Ms. Katerina Yang, Senior Education Advisor, Department of Educational Development, Singapore Polytechnic, Singapore, and Dr. Haja Nurin binti Kamaruddin, Principal Lecturer Polytechnic Sultan Salahuddin Abdul Aziz Shah, Malaysia. The respected directors and deputy directors of Polytechnic and Community College, as well as the director of the Higher Learning Institution in Johor. The distinguished guests, representative and seniors officer from the Department of Polytechnic and Community College Education. The respected heads of department and unit, the organizing committee, CDIO practitioners and presenters, and especially the representative from the invited school from Johor Bahru area. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and a very warm welcome to the Malaysia CDIO Practitioners Conference 2025. For your information, this is an inaugural event that are organized by the Department of Polytechnic and Community College Education, DPCCE, and hosted by Malaysian Technical Doctorate Association, MTDA, together with Polytechnic Ibrahim Sultan Pasir Gudang, Malaysia. Today marks not only a gathering of educators, innovators, and leaders, but also a celebration of the CDIO vision, a vision that has shaped engineering and technical education across the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, our event today will not have an opening ceremony. Instead, we will begin with the keynote speaker speech. Without further ado, it is my pleasure to invite our first keynote speaker to the stage. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Katerina Yang from Singapore Polytechnic, who will share with us her keynote address entitled CDIO in Action, Best Practices and Success Stories from ASEAN Institution. Let us give her a warm round of applause.
Good morning. Selamat pagi dan salam sejahtera. Dr. Zamzam Muhammad Walid, Director of Curriculum Division, Department of Polytechnic and Community College Education. Tuan Haji Ulaimi bin Yahya, Director Polytechnic Ibrahim Sultan. Dr. Haja Nur Haniza binti Muhammad, Deputy Chairperson, Malaysia Technical Doctorate Association. Dr. Haja Norin binti Kamaruddin, Principal Lecturer, Polytechnic Sultan Salahuddin Abdul Aziz Shah, Malaysia. The respected directors and deputy directors of Polytechnic and Community College, as well as the directors of the Higher Learning Institution in Johor, the distinguished guests, representatives and senior officers from the Department of Polytechnic and Community College of Education, the respective heads of department and unit, the organizing committee, CDIO practitioners and presenters, and especially the representatives from the invited schools from Johor Bahru area. I am Katerina from Singapore Polytechnic. It is my pleasure this morning to share with you the CDIO good practices and success stories from Singapore Polytechnic. I will now do a bit of greeting in Bahasa Melayu. Para pendidik yang penuh semangat serta tuan-tuan dan puan-puan sekalian, saya mengucapkan setinggi-tinggi penghargaan atas kehadiran anda semua ke sesi pembendangan utama ini. Kehadiran anda amat dihargai dan menyerikan lagi majlis ilmu pada hari ini. That concludes the Bahasa Melayu portion of my opening speech. I hope I have conveyed it correctly. Please forgive me if there were any mispronunciation or errors in my delivery. I will now proceed the presentation in English. I am truly honored to be here to deliver a presentation to such passionate and dedicated group of professionals, educators, and thought leaders. As we gather here today, we are not just here to exchange ideas, we are here to spark new ones. This presentation is an opportunity to reflect on where Singapore Polytechnic have been, where we are now, and most importantly, where we are headed. Your presence speaks volume about your commitment to growth, collaboration, and innovation. My presentation today is to share with you the best practices and success stories from Singapore Polytechnic using the CDIO. Couldn't be more timely in a world that's constantly evolving. Our lead and inspire is more critical. Mic check. So, being here, listen actively, think boldly, and engage. Let's make this session not just informative, but transformative for our learners. Now, without further ado, let's begin my sharing. Allow me to provide some background information about Singapore Polytechnic, and I will use SP as the acronym. SP was established in 1954, making it the nation's first polytechnic. We marked our 70th anniversary last year, a significant milestone in our journey in shaping education and industry. This year, Singapore celebrates its 60th National Day. It is worth noting that the first decade of existence, it was part of Malaya, reflecting the broader context of our region's development. Next slide, please. Could I please have... There we go. SP has 10 schools and 14 Mic check. The schools offer programs in engineering discipline, computing, various engineering discipline, sciences. Okay, I'm going to pause for a while. Explain this slide again. SP has 10 schools and 14 departments. The schools offer programs in various engineering disciplines, computing, chemical and life sciences, built environment and maritime, business and the creatives, and last but not least, common core modules. SP uses the word modules to describe the many subjects that are taught in a program, which in universities' contexts are often called courses. The departments within the Polytechnic supports essential daily operation in administration, student support and services, infrastructure, and so on. Next slide, please. This slide shows the SP education model. I will use it to explain certain features that are more relevant to today's conference theme that is related to CDIO framework. Singapore is at a momentous point of a journey into a future that is extremely challenging, but also defining in unprecedented ways. Singapore Polytechnic, proudly bearing the name of our nation, feels a sense of deep responsibility to prepare our learners of all ages and diverse backgrounds to grow, thrive, and serve in a dramatically different landscapes as they will find themselves. Building on our rich contributions to industry and society in past 7 decades, during which Singapore had to reinvent herself through daunting challenges, SP aspires to establish a new and resilient education order that will prepare our pre-employment learners, address the needs of the many learners who will need continuing education, and provide indispensable value to industry while at the same time learning from the industry. Hence, SP has a compelling model that addresses deep skills, versatility, entrepreneurial vigor, a global mindset, a capacity for career resilience and lifelong learning to meet the demands of the new challenges of our times. The institution graphics serve as a reminder to us about what our priorities are. In particular, it is a strong reminder that our learners are at the center of all we do. And as staff, we directly impact the learners. Our learners are represented by the circle in the graduate attributes. Our staff, learn, serve, and care, are presented by the arch around the circle. Our mission explains why we exist as an institution. It reflects our core purposes. In an era of uncertainties, what are our core purposes? It is to prepare our learners of diverse backgrounds and ages to be life-ready, work-ready, and world-ready, so that they can actively participate in supporting the transformation of Singapore in the face of extreme disruptions. Next slide, please. So this would be the mission of our polytechnic. Next slide, please. Before that, I think one more before and one more before. Thank you. We put our learners at the center of everything that we do, which is represented by the graduate attributes at the center of the education model. We must train our learners to see them through, securing not just their first jobs, but also prepare them for a volatile future. This will require them to learn continually, adapt, and that they have a sense of sound ethics and responsibility. Our curriculum is the foundation and it guides us what we should teach. It has 3 components: domain, common core, and choice. Domain refers to the various disciplines such as engineering, computing, chemical and life sciences, built environment and maritime, business, and the creatives. Common core refers to a set of modules that allows students to acquire emerging digital and human skills in the VUCA world. I will elaborate about Common Core later in my presentation. Choice refers to elective modules that they can choose to read when they are pursuing their diploma studies. At SP, every student lives as a self-directed, versatile, and lifelong learner. Elective provides students with learning opportunities to set and achieve learning goals through self-exploration, shaping own learning path, and pursuing their passions. The Polytechnic education provides learners hands-on experience with a dynamic and progressive learning environment, with a variety of courses in different fields which leads students to fulfilling career, as well as preparing them for further studies. SP prepares our learners for the VUCA world through a combination of technical and life skills to think, act, and behave like professionals for their chosen fields. Those fields are in established domains or emerging areas. Next slide, please. If curriculum is what we teach the students, then the pillars are how we intend to facilitate the learning. With the need to always ensure that we remain true SP's commitment towards excellent teaching and learning, it is important to innovate our teaching and learning approaches. Our initiatives include adopting CDIO framework for all engineering programs and several other non-engineering programs, data-enabled flipped learning, self-directed learning, and action research to ensure we seek continual improvement in the way we teach our students. Over the years, we use the CDIO framework to continually improve our programs so that they continue to remain relevant to key stakeholders, with up-to-date content backed by innovative teaching and learning practices. We also invest efforts in enhancing learning experience through the use of educational technology, or edutech in short, and other technological tools such as animation, augmented reality, virtual reality, tools that augment interactivity as part of pedagogical innovation. Next slide, please. Our learners are at the center of that we do, and as staff, we directly impact the learners. Our staff model, learn, serve, care, is our vision to be a caring community of inspired learners, committed to serve with mastery. We hope our students would be inspired by this and will learn to do likewise. Next slide, please. SP-CDIO journey started from 2004 and joined the CDIO community as a member institution. SP hosted the 5th CDIO International Conference in 2009 and continued to be an active member in the CDIO community. We lead several initiatives internationally and within the Asia region, which is closer to home. SP held the co-directorship in the CDIO Council for the past 6 years, and we currently helm the Asia co-leadership. As a result, we established the SP-CDIO Center in 2022 to spearhead the use of CDIO framework to drive continual improvements in curriculum design. The center also envisioned to be a resource and touch point for CDIO collaborators to work together in order to address the challenges in education in today's VUCA world. Next slide, please. SP is the co-leader for the Asia region. Currently, Asia members include institutions from ASEAN, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Japan, and several others. Since adopting CDIO in 2004, there have been several milestones in the development of CDIO as shown on this slide. I will now share our best practices in SP's CDIO journey. Next slide, please. First, let's understand what the CDIO framework is about. The CDIO initiative is an innovative educational framework for producing the next generation of engineers. The framework provides students with an education stressing engineering fundamentals set in the context of conceiving, designing, implementing, operating real-world systems and products, and hence the acronym CDIO. The aim of CDIO is to educate students to master a deeper working knowledge of the technical fundamentals, empower students to lead in the creation and operation of new products, processes, and systems, and enable students to understand the importance and strategic impact of research and technological development on society. Next slide, please. The CDIO framework consists of CDIO standards and CDIO syllabus. The CDIO standards are a set of principles that serves as guidelines for educational reform, enable benchmarking with other programs, and provide a tool for self-evaluation to support continuous improvement. The CDIO syllabus codifies the knowledge, skills, and attitudes intended as a result of engineering education in the form of learning outcomes. These learning outcomes detail what students should know and be able to do at the conclusion of their engineering programs. At SP, we organize the curriculum around mutually supporting disciplinary programs, interwoven with CDIO activities, and design-implement experiences set in both classroom and modern learning workspaces, as well as incorporating active and experiential learning into the disciplinary programs. These would be the focus of today's presentation. Next slide, please. The integrated curriculum is a key feature in the CDIO framework. It is an educational approach that connects different subject areas, allowing students to explore concepts across discipline in a more cohesive and meaningful way. Instead of teaching subjects like math, science, and humanities in isolation, an integrated curriculum blends them around common themes, projects, or real-world problems. Next slide, please. In recent years, sustainability has been a frequently discussed topic across all sectors, including business, education, and government. The Common Core curriculum was introduced in SP since 2021. The purpose is to equip students with foundational core skills that matter in a disruptive world. It comprises of 10 modules that cover important human and digital skills for many professions. It provides a wide learning experience for students to examine local and global issues based on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The aim is to enable students to understand real-world issues and the impact on different communities, equip students with skills to create a better, sustainable Singapore and the world. My colleagues have published their work using CDIO core standards to guide the design of education for sustainable development using the Common Core curriculum. This is an institutional level work. Next slide, please. This approach was then cascaded to a program level where the chemical engineering program used the CDIO approach to integrate the Common Core curriculum into its program, strengthening the emerging digital and human skills in the domain courses using an integrated curriculum approach. This approach enables us to train students who are not only technically proficient, but also capable of working across disciplines and applying their knowledge in practical, team-based settings. The Common Core curriculum also strengthens the development of sustainability mindset in SP's graduate attributes on ethics and responsible citizenry. Next slide, please. One might ask, how is integrated curriculum done? Where do we start? Here are some scenarios for consideration. When you ask your students to form groups and work on an assignment or project, somehow they will talk to each other and work out the group formation on their own. After some time, they complete the assignment or project and make the submission on time. One might ask, is this teamwork? What does teamwork look like to you? What should teamwork mean to the students? What learning outcomes would develop teamwork skills? Here is a different scenario. In a project, students are required to submit a report and carry out an oral presentation. One might ask, why do students need to carry out a presentation when all the information are documented in a report? Why are we lecturers spending time to assess the same content, but presented in different forms? Let's ask ourselves, what competencies are being assessed? We know that reports and oral presentations are different forms of communication and require different competencies. Do students know this? Do they know the purpose, audience, and context when they carry out the different modes of communication? In other words, do students know why they are learning what they are learning? Next slide, please. As educators, we all strive to create classrooms where students are not just listening, but thinking, engaging, and growing together. Team-based learning is a proven strategy that makes this possible. It shifts the focus from passive absorption to active collaboration, where students prepare before class and then work in diverse teams to solve complex real-world problems. This structure fosters accountability, deepens understanding, and builds essential skills like communication and critical thinking. More importantly, it transforms the classroom into a vibrant learning community. If we want our students to be confident, capable, and ready for the challenges ahead, team-based learning is a tool that we should all consider as part of inculcating active learning. Before students work in teams, it is worth allocating some time in class to let students get acquainted with their team members. A simple teamwork exercise could support the team to go a longer mile. The exercise should allow them to communicate with one another, understand each other's strengths and weaknesses, identify team goals, and set ground rules. Easy as it sounds, but this would help students understand how to form effective teams. They can then apply these skills no matter where they will be and who they will be working with. Next slide, please. Design, implement, experience are a cornerstone of the CDIO framework. They refer to the structured learning experiences where students actively engage in the design, building, and testing of products, processes, or systems, often in the real world or simulated environment. These experiences go beyond theoretical knowledge. They allow students to apply engineering fundamentals, work collaboratively, and develop essential skills like problem solving, project management, and communication. It is important that these experiences are scaffolded across the curriculum. That means students start with smaller, guided design tasks early in their studies and gradually progress to more complex, open-ended projects as they advance. This progression helps build confidence and competence over time. Design implement experiences also foster creativity and innovation. They challenge students to think critically, make decisions under constraints, and reflect on the outcomes of their work, just like how they would do in professional practice. In short, these experiences are not just about building things, they are about building engineers. Next slide, please. Here is an example of a design implement experience that was created for chemical engineering students. In this activity, students work in teams to build a water filter kit using raw materials that are naturally available. Before the actual lesson, students design their filter. Some students search the internet or use generative AI tools to learn more about the different types of filters. Some students may just do a sketch based on what they know. On the actual lesson day, each group would take turns to show their filter design to the lecturer in charge and explain the rationale for the design. The lecturer would check for students' understanding on filtration principles before allowing them to proceed to gather raw materials and assemble the filter. The students are given a budget to spend on. These are not real money, but an upper limit for students to work within so that they understand about real-world constraints. Once the filter is assembled, they test the effectiveness of the filter using turbid water that was prepared by our laboratory technical executives. The turbid water is cloudy and murky due to the presence of suspended particles in the water. The filter that they build should remove some of these suspended particles. Students are given 3 hours to complete this entire activity that includes gathering raw materials, assemble the filter, and test the filter. 3 hours may be sufficient to complete the task, but we have seen some student teams were highly stressed by the allocated time, but this is real world. The focus of this activity for students to experience the process of assembling and testing the filter, where they must work in teams to complete the task. The learning activity was deliberately designed for teamwork and oral communication to take place. The outcome, how good is the filter in removing suspended particles, is not the main objective of this activity. In fact, least emphasis is placed on this, but this is included in the activity to let students know how good their filter design is. This design implement experience is set in the context of learning filtration principles, design and build a filter. It allows integration of teamwork and communication within this technical domain. Students must communicate and coordinate with one another to ensure certain tasks are done concurrently or consecutively. As you can see from the pictures on the slide, one student is holding the filter casing and another student is filling the filter media into the casing. In the picture on the far right, similar teamwork and communication are required. The total weight of the filter and the filter media and water may be too heavy to be supported by a retort stand. So one student must support the filter while another student pour the water. So in this learning activity, a simulated real-world environment is created for students to experience and learn from it. It is a fail-safe environment. How would you design similar learning experience for your students in your domain? Next slide, please. In this example, it shows a hands-on engineering project. Students are engaged in the full CDIO cycle to develop a functional model aircraft. Working in teams, they apply aerodynamic principles, use the design thinking approach, and prototyping techniques to conceive, design, build, and test their craft model. The project emphasizes iterative development, problem solving, and collaboration, culminating in a flight performance evaluation. The designs could be produced through many to several iterations before the final design is selected for the implementation stage. In the operate stage, students use their aircraft model and carry out a flight test. In the flight test, the distance that the aircraft could travel was measured. Through this experience, students gain practical insights into engineering design and systems thinking in a real-world context. I would like to encourage you to think where the opportunities lie for you to carry out these learning experiences in your domain for your students. Next slide, please. In many engineering projects, students carry out the design, implement, and operate phases. For smaller projects with shorter duration, the projects or work assignments are likely to cover implement and operate phases or design and implement phases. It is not necessary for students to complete the CDIO phases within a single assignment or project. It would depend on the learning outcome, domain, duration, and resources available when choosing the CDIO phases for student learning. For SP, we incorporated the design thinking framework into the CDIO learning process to strengthen the conceive and design phases. The design thinking approach enabled our students to learn about a human-centered iterative approach to problem solving that emphasizes empathy, creativity, and ideation. Next slide, please. Design thinking is taught through a module named Sustainable Innovation Project in the Common Core curriculum. In this Sustainable Innovation Project, or otherwise known as SIP in short, students are required to identify an issue that they care about, which could include food, water, shelter, education, healthcare, and safety. They will then research to learn more about the selected issue, understand how it affects the local community, identify the affected users to work as a project, carry out empathy studies to understand users in their context, generate ideas to meet users' needs, and communicate the design concept through presentation and prototyping. Next slide, please. The Sustainable Innovation Project module integrates many CDIO skills, such as interpersonal skills, including teamwork and communication, personal and professional skills and attributes. It is also extended to allow students to join students from overseas partner institutions in sustainable innovation projects across ASEAN. This overseas version is called Learning Express. Our Indonesian counterpart named it Belajar Cepat. It is a 12-day program that allows students to apply the design thinking approach to uncover insights and identify needs of overseas grassroots communities. SP students gather insights together with the local students at the overseas institution and co-create purposeful and sustainable solutions for the local communities. We invite interested institutions to partner us in this Learning Express program to provide an enjoyable out-of-the-classroom experiences for students and develop our students' skills and competencies. Next slide, please. SP also has built many engineering workspaces over the years that made experiential learning possible and CDIO projects for our students to carry out. In some of these workspaces, there are collaboration with industry partners like Emerson, Sembcorp, Bosch, just to name a few. The purpose is to carry out joint research, innovation challenges, or product development. Industry partners share current trends, technologies, and practices that help bridge the gap between academic theory and real-world application. Students can therefore gain competencies and the shared expertise that are in demand in the job market. Next slide, please. Educational technology is transforming classrooms into dynamic student-centered environments. With tools like interactive platform, gamified learning apps, and AI-powered feedback systems, students are no longer passive recipients of information. They are active participants in their own learning journey. Educational technology enables real-time collaboration, personalized learning path, instant access to resources, making lessons more engaging and relevant. Whether it is using simulations to explore scientific concepts or digital storytelling to enhance literacy, technology empowers students to explore, create, and connect. Most importantly, it gives educators the data and flexibility to meet learners where they are, fostering deeper understanding and sustained engagement. Next slide, please. Some of us here may be familiar with the term flipped learning. Flipped learning is an instructional approach where traditional model of teaching is reversed. Instead of introducing new content during class time and assigning homework afterwards, students first engage with new material before class, typically through videos, readings, or interactive activities, and then use class time for deeper learning activities. SP took the flipped learning model to the next level by integrating data analytics to enhance teaching and learning outcomes. This is known as the data-enabled flipped learning. It builds on the flipped learning classroom model by using data to monitor, personalize, and improve the learning experience for our students. Before class, lecturers collect and analyze data from students' online learning activities in the learning management system. The purpose is to monitor students' learning progress and use quiz scores or interactive tools to gauge students' understanding of a specific topic. During class time, lecturers tailor in-class activities based on students' performance and needs, and use these insights to refine content delivery, lesson pace, and instructional strategies. Lecturers can also identify struggling students early and offer support or intervention in a timely manner. After class, lecturers could follow up with post-assessment or feedback to monitor students' understanding. Ultimately, data-enabled flipped learning helps create a more personalized and effective learning experience for students, where every student learns what they need when they need it. Next slide, please. SP has been on the CDIO journey for more than 20 years, and we have developed much capabilities and experience in CDIO that we can contribute to the CDIO peer-to-peer support initiatives. The CDIO peer-to-peer support was born out from efforts of key members of the European CDIO members to enhance the quality of their educational offerings purpose. The purpose is to benefit participating programs from CDIO members by allowing them to share practices and enhance their programs continuously so as to gain deeper learning from the experiences of their peers. For the CDIO community, the activity builds up a history of evidence about the positive impact of CDIO on the quality of engineering education and its graduates. It makes it possible to identify regional or global trends that give guidance to the advancement of the CDIO initiative. Engaging in the CDIO peer-to-peer support will make the CDIO network more active and collaborative, delivering a whole new and interesting experience for CDIO members and becoming more attractive to new and potential members. In short, the peer-to-peer support activity provides one's program the opportunity to share good practices with one's peer and at the same time learn from the peer. SP, in its capacity as co-leader for the CDIO Asia region, embraced the peer-to-peer support initiative and operationalized it. In 2022, SP and Batangas State University of the Philippines came together to pilot the peer-to-peer support with the intention of exchanging learnings about education for sustainable development, implemented in each institution for the chemical engineering discipline. The peer support between SP and Batangas State University began with a series of virtual meetings designed to familiarize each institution with the other's curriculum, the implementation of CDIO in the curriculum, and sharing work related to CDIO. Next slide, please. About 1 year later, in October 2023, Batangas State University hosted a visit for 6 SP staff from 4 engineering disciplines. They are from the built environment, chemical, electrical, and mechanical engineering. This was the first meetup between the 2 institutions and faculty members from both institutions, as you can see from the pictures there. Faculty members from both institutions engaged in deeper discussions about education for sustainable development and participate in learning journey to hands-on learning laboratory and a learning site for local and overseas students to collaborate on social innovation projects. Batangas State University is also one of our overseas partner institutions in sustainable innovation projects in ASEAN. Next slide, please. Another year later, in October 2024, faculty members from Batangas State University visited SP when SP hosted the CDIO Asia regional meeting. Until today, in 2025, SP's collaboration with Batangas State University is still ongoing, where Batangas State University provides inspiration to SP to conceive projects with sustainable elements, while SP shares with Batangas State University how sustainability is integrated into our curriculum using the CDIO approach. Next slide, please. I would like to quote Henry Ford's words: "Coming together is the beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success." While SP have grown and progressed to support CDIO members in the region, we place equal importance to continually develop the competence of our faculty members. I explained the SP education model earlier, that staff is placed at the center of the model. This means that faculty development is important to ensure meaningful learning experiences are delivered to students and they are able to serve with mastery. Resources are invested to enable faculty members to understand the CDIO framework, how to design meaningful learning experiences for students using integrated curriculum, active and experiential learning approaches, and able to deliver lessons competently in their domain areas. We warmly invite interested institutions to connect with us and explore how we could enhance learning and student engagement. Our journey has been shaped by innovation and collaboration and a deep commitment to impactful education. By sharing our experiences, tools, and insights, we hope to inspire and support institutions in their CDIO journey. Next slide, please. What better way to share experience? And that would be at the next year's CDIO International Conference, which will be hosted by the University of Liverpool. So we hope to see some of you there while we can share the experiences. Next slide, please. Okay, I think there's one slide missing. I'm gonna explain this. In the next 5 years, AI will evolve from a novel tool into a foundational component of professional and academic life. Experts predict a shift from simple AI assistants to autonomous agents capable of complex multi-step tasks. These systems will become increasingly multimodal, processing and generating information across text, video, and audio. Our graduates will not be entering a world where AI is a distant concept. They will be joining a workforce where AI is a foundational embedded component. Generative AI is already reshaping our students' behavior, blurring the lines between academic and personal life. Students are relying on these tools for efficiency, for automating research, to drafting assignments. This offers new avenues for personalized learning, but also raises concerns about potential cognitive dependence. The ease of access to powerful AI tools also creates a knowledge asymmetry, making it imperative that we train students to critically evaluate information and understand the ethical implications of AI use, including biases and misinformation. While AI will impact every sector, its disruptive effects is critical in some industries. For example, AI is already prevalent in diagnostics, imaging, and drug discovery in the healthcare sector. The finance sector uses AI for fraud detection and algorithmic trading. Occupations with repetitive knowledge-based tasks are at high risk of disruption, particularly in administrative roles. So in order to prepare our students for an AI-augmented job market, we must adapt our curriculum to emphasize a new hierarchy of skills. Traditional assessments are at risk of being circumvented by generative AI. To mitigate the risk of cognitive degeneration, we must innovate our assessment methods. So SP is leading in this effort to proactively address this change and develop a comprehensive, actionable framework for integrating AI into current academic and administrative ecosystems to prepare students for an AI-augmented future. We invite interested institutions and experts to collaborate with us in this journey. As I conclude my presentation, I hope the best practices that I've shared today have sparked new ideas and possibilities. At our institutions, we have seen firsthand how intentional design using the CDIO framework, active and experiential learning strategies, the thoughtful use of educational technology can transform a first-year engineering student, someone who may arrive with little experience or confidence, into a self-directed, innovative professional with a strong sense of purpose and social responsibility. This transformation is not accidental. It is the result of a learning environment that challenges, supports, and empowers. We believe this journey is replicable, and we invite you to take insights forward, adapt them to your context, and join us in shaping the next generation of engineers who not only solve problems, but also serve society. Thank you all for your time, your attention, and your thoughtful engagement throughout the session. It has been a privilege to share this space with you, and I look forward to the conversation and progress that will follow. Sekian sahaja, terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Ms. Katerina, for that insightful sharing. Indeed, your examples from across the ASEAN region remind us that CDIO is not just a framework, but a living practice shaping institutions, students, and society as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now pause for a short refreshment break. Please enjoy the light refreshment and take this opportunity to connect with fellow participants. We shall reconvene after 15 minutes for our next keynote address. For those who are presenting for plenary session 1 and 2, please proceed to the assigned plenary session room. Thank you.